Hey guys, it's Bryan from BG Media Innovation, and I got a great one for you today. So we're going to piggyback off the Poshmark thing. The last video I posted up was basically an overview of what Poshmark was, how you can make money on the site and the app, and what it actually brings to the table and why you should use it. I do actually have a course on Poshmark, how you can make money selling old clothes, how you can turn those old clothes and that old money that you make off them basically into a sustainable business model that pays you passively over the months and years. It's very, very great. It's a cool business model. Anybody can do it. You don't need any money to start it. You literally just need a couple of, maybe 10 to 15 pieces of old clothes in your closet, and you're good to go. So you can check that out. I'll link that in the description if you are interested in checking that out. There's this YouTube subscriber discount link, so you don't have to pay the full price for it. You literally just get it for $10. But I've been getting a lot of questions lately, like I said in the last video, about I basically made my money on Poshmark. How people wanted a bunch of different tips and tricks. So I'm going to get into a couple of the key tips and tricks that I use to really up my sales velocity and the exposure for the stuff that I'm listing on the site. And they're really, really simple, but I'm going to show them here for you, and you'll understand how I go about doing them and why they work. So really, the first thing that you need to understand about Poshmark is sharing is key. Share everything. Share. Sharing equals sales, basically. So obviously, one share does not equal one sale, but it pretty much goes hand in hand. The more you share, the more exposure your products will get, because other people will share your products back, and you can piggyback off their closet. If you don't know about what a closet is, I'll open up my closet right here, and this is one of the test ones from my course. You can literally see that I target followed a bunch of people. I kind of stopped because I haven't done this in a while. I really don't do Poshmark anymore. But you can see that I'm approaching about 10,000 followers. So every time I share something, it literally reaches about 10,000 people's feeds. And feeds is right here. It's just like any news feed, on Facebook or Instagram. Someone shares a piece of clothing from their closet, and that pops right up into one of your followers' feeds. So that's about 9,630 people that I get potential exposure to when I share one of my products. Now, what that means is if I share my product, like if I share this, you can see you can share it to a party or to your followers. You'll see it was shared successfully. And granted, there's an app for this that makes it a lot easier too if you're not on a computer, so you can feel free to download that. But basically, what I'm saying is that gets you exposure to a bunch of different people. But you can notice that a bunch of other people have their own followings. Some people have less, some people have more. And by sharing other people's things, Poshmark is a really close-knit and engaged community. So if you share, it's sort of like Instagram, a follow for a follower or a like for a like or something like that. Well, on Poshmark, it's a share for a share. So if I go in and I share somebody's piece of clothing, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you in a second, they're going to see that. It's going to pop up in their news feed right here, and they're going to get a red notification, and they're most likely going to share yours back. Now, it doesn't happen every time, but the majority of the times that does happen. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you here today. So that's the first thing that I want to impart on you guys. Think of shares as potential money. The more you share, the more your products will get exposure. Like I said, the more potential sales you'll make. So I don't do this necessarily anymore, but I'm going to demonstrate this for you and how you can make a lot of money doing this. And you can literally check out the course if you want to. It's endless possibilities, because not only, obviously, these are old things from my closet, but if you go down here, you can see that these are all boutiques. These are things that I have endless supplies of. And you literally can just boutique everything, and this can be a sustainable business model. But to get into the first tip and trick, sharing from parties. So we're going to hit parties, and you'll notice that there's a party happening right now, and there are also past parties and upcoming parties. Now, if there's not a party coming or happening now, I always suggest to go into the past parties and literally share from there. But since there is a party happening now, we're going to join this party. Because of the fact that this party is happening now, the users that are sharing to this party are obviously on the site right now. So you have a higher, response rate and share back rate because these people are actually engaged with Poshmark right now. So you literally just see it popped up with 99 new listings. These people literally just share these, and you know that they're engaged on this site. So I'm going to demonstrate this really fast. I'm literally going to just share from the parties, and you'll notice that my news feed starts popping up. See 96 new listings. You'll literally see that this starts getting like ridiculous amounts of notifications from people sharing my items back. And if you look at those people's closets, like let's just pull this girl's up. Let's say I shared hers and she shared one of mine back or two of mine back. Let's go to her closet. See, she has 67,000 almost followers. So I'm basically trading my 10,000 followers for her 67,000 followers. That's how you get your product's exposure. She's sharing my piece of clothing to her 67,000 followers, and that's 67,000 potential people that might either like that piece of clothing or buy that piece of clothing. And what a like basically does on Poshmark is it just pinpoints it. It basically favorites it, so that anytime there's a share or a price drop, it lets you, not necessarily a share, sorry, but a price drop, it will notify that person that the price of that item has dropped. And every time you drop the price in the future, they'll get a notification and still be a potential buyer for that product. So I'm going to demonstrate this really fast for you. Obviously, some people have more than 67,000, some people have less. There are a lot of people that have over 100,000 people or 100,000 followers, but I'm going to demonstrate this for you really fast, and you're going to see the power of it. So let's just go ahead and share a bunch of things. And you can do this really fast. It doesn't always pop up that it's successfully shared if you do it really fast, but most of the time it will. And because of the fact that these people literally just shared to this party, we know that they're all engaged on the app. So I'm just going to do this really fast until we start getting a ridiculous amount of notifications. And you can literally just put the music on, go down and share about 300 to 500 things, and you'd be surprised, I guarantee you make a sale. Now, granted, if you have decent items in your closet and you have a decent amount of items in your closet, I promise you, if you share that many things, you're going to make a sale. Now, it doesn't take you too long to share 300 items. I think I probably just shared about 20 myself in the past 30 seconds I was talking to you. It's not hard. You can put some music on and just crank it out. You can do it if you're bored. And this is going to get you sales because other people, you're literally piggybacking off all of these people's closets. And I'll show you what I mean in a sec. Now, obviously, I sell men's clothes. The majority of my stuff is men's clothes. Some of my stuff that is boutique is women's clothes, because I think when I used to do Poshmark heavily, it was about 80 to 90% of the people that used the site were women. So when I chose to do my boutique, I thought that the target market would be better for women, obviously, because there's so many more of them on the app and site, which is true. But when I have so many items in my own closet, and it hasn't updated yet, but it will soon. When I have so many items in my closet that are all men, sometimes there are men-related parties. And those, if you can go back and look at some of the past parties and they're men-related parties, you know that that the majority of those people that share those items are men. Now, that's a great way to basically identify people that are men and that are potential, customers for your men's products. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, you're not a man, you don't really need to take that tip, but the majority of the users on the app are obviously women, so that goes in your favor already. This really hasn't updated that much yet, but I guarantee you, if you waited like 5 to 10 minutes, didn't mean to do that, all those people would start sharing back. And I'm just going to let it sit there for a second and maybe we'll see it. But I'm going to go back into the parties and see if any of these people popped up were men, or any of these were men's related things. So back to basics, Adidas, Nike, men's style parties. This is exactly what I mean. So all these people that shared these last things in the men's style party, obviously you can assume that the majority of these people are men. So I'm going to go ahead and share all these. You can share as many as you want. There's no limit. It's not like Instagram, where if you like or share anything. Now, there is an algorithm, and I get into that in my course, but I'm not getting it. Sorry, I can't speak. Couldn't get into that in this video because it's beyond the scope of the video. And I'm just going to give you a couple tips and tricks so you can better sell on Poshmark, because if you're really looking for the entire course, I have, like I said, the entire course on that. But just a couple tips and tricks. Now you can see it's slowly starting to go up. It's only been about a minute or two, and we've already got 3 notifications of people that shared our stuff back, 4 really. But if I left this here for about 10 minutes, you would start to notice that you'd get like, 20 to 50 notifications, I bet you, with all those people sharing your stuff back. Now, like I said before, everybody that you share is not going to share back, but a vast majority of the people will, especially if they're engaged on the app right now, sharing to the party. So that's the tip I wanted to give you guys today about Poshmark. Sharing from parties, it really, really helps get your product's exposure and make you sales and make you money. It literally took me about, I don't know, 5 minutes to explain that and literally go through and share all those things. And that might make me a sale of an item that, if I sell this right here, this jacket that I don't wear anymore, for $59, I think I might take a percentage of that. I might take like 40, let's just say 45 of that, because Poshmark takes their cut. I literally just got paid $45 to sell an old coat, to share things for 5 minutes. It's the scope of how much money you can make on this site if you use it right is unthinkable, I'm telling you. So I hope you guys really like that tip. If you're not on Poshmark already, obviously hop on Poshmark. You can use the code in the description down below to get $5 towards any purchase, and a $5 credit towards I believe you have to purchase it. I don't think you can cash it out. I've never tried it before, but it basically just gives you a free $5, and then it gives me a free $5 commission for referring you. So check that out if you want to. I really hope you guys enjoyed the tip. Hop on Poshmark if you're not already on it, and I will see you guys in the next one.